Rabbi, hashkacha pratis with the salad. Thank you.
Baruch Tia. How do I pin this? Okay, yeah. Okay, so all right. So we're gonna recap. We got until Tetzaveh, until the 6th chapter. So we're gonna recap the first 5, so we continue. Remember a little bit what we were talking about. So we started off with the pasuk Veata Tetzaveh b'nei Yisrael, and you command the Jewish people, and they will take to you olive oil, pure olive oil that is crushed, for it to be a source of light, to raise up an everlasting light. So the Rebbe started by asking some. He said there's known questions about this. One of them is, why does it say Veata Tetzaveh, a new command? It's a very strange way of saying it, compared to how it usually says it in the Torah. The Torah usually says Tetzaveh b'nei Yisrael, command the Jewish people, which means give the Jewish people God's commandment. God's telling him. In this case, Veata Tetzaveh, you Moshe command, implies that Moshe is the one doing the tzivui, doing the commandment. The second question is that why are they bringing the oil to Moshe? They should be bringing it to Aaron. Aaron, his brother, the high priest, is the one who primarily deals with the mitzvah of the menorah. So why are they bringing the olive oil to Moshe? Furthermore, why did it say Lema'ir, as for the source of light, for the light source, instead of just bringing oil to be a light? Why as a source of light, to be the source of the light? Furthermore, in the next pasuk it says from evening till morning, and here it says an everlasting light. So those are the 4 questions. So the Rebbe starts by talking about what is, it says, a new command of the Jewish people. Why and Moshe commanded the Jewish people? Because he says that what is the meaning of mitzvah, of a tzivui, of a commandment, comes from tzav v'chibur. That means the one who ties and connects. And this is, and you give a tzivui to Bnei Yisrael, meaning you command them, meaning you are the one who ties them, you are the one who connects them. That as we know, Moshe Rabbeinu is the one who connects and ties the Jewish people to the Ein Sof, to the light of the Infinite One. And through this that Moshe Rabbeinu ties them, he also ends up gaining more, becoming greater himself. Right? That like we know that Moshe Rabbeinu, that the leader is like a head, and the people is like the feet, like it says, 600,000 feet are this nation, that I am among them. That we know that in a physical body as well, that the head, even though the head, it's true, the head is the head, and the head gives a directive, and the head leads what to do, but and the head knows what to do, but the feet are the ones who have to go there. The head can figure out that I need to go 100 meters that way, but it's the feet that need to take the head to the 100 feet that way. So the feet make the head greater. So the Jewish people make Moshe Rabbeinu greater. They bring Moshe to a higher level, and this is the meaning of so now we've added also that why, and they will bring to you the olive oil, meaning they will bring to you a greater level, to you Moshe, that you Moshe command the Jewish people, meaning you connect them, and through this they will bring to you, they will make you even greater through this as well. And the Rebbe is here referencing, he's referencing a Maamar of Kibbul HaYehudim, and the Jews, they actualize what they had started to do, which is a Maamar from the previous Rebbe, from his father-in-law. And in that Maamar, he starts out by talking about the idea that Moshe is called Raya Mehemna, the faithful shepherd. And there's two meanings in this. One of them is that he is a faithful shepherd, that he's a shepherd, and you can count on him to be a shepherd, to be a good shepherd. He's faithful. The other explanation is that what is he a shepherd of? He's a shepherd of faith. In other words, that's how he does his shepherding, is through giving faith, through sustaining and feeding the Jewish people with faith. That this is how he connects the Jewish people, is by giving them faith. And the Maamar continues that Moshe is a faithful shepherd. It also applies to the extension of Moshe in each generation. That he also, the Rashi Alfi Yisrael B'chol Deir, that the leaders of the Jewish people in every generation, they are the ones that strengthen the faith of their people in that generation. Hello? Yeah, okay, 1 second.
Okay.
Did you get there? Okay. Chaim Mizrahi.
Oh, big shear. It is a big shear. It is a big shear. It is a big
Big room for sure, right?
Yeah.
This is a big shear.
It's the biggest.
The biggest.
The biggest.
You know, sometimes a shear, some people make a small shear because it's never going to get big and never was big. Some shearim are big, whether there's two people there, whether it's just a big shear.
The Abster is here.
Oh, then it's for sure big.
Yeah, the biggest. It's like last time we were learning about it, that Matan Torah was the greatest ever. It's like that. This is like the greatest, the biggest year.
Is that Moshe?
Yeah.
Boy, Moshe, am I ever glad to see you.
Oh.
Look at that. He got the same clothes on as the picture I have up.
See that? Oh, look.
Look at that.
1 second.
You have up?
Look at that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Same picture.
Rabbi,
The guy don't change a bit.
the revelation is going to be where Hashem's going to speak to us again, right?
Yeah.
Is that going to be as great?
I just said to Mendel 15 minutes ago, I should call Moshe right now to zoom in.
I just told me
class
to
that
call Moshe to get on the Zoom.
here in person.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to call him on the Zoom.
All right.
He'll be on this end of the Zoom.
I didn't know this shear was even on the Zoom.
Yeah, it's on the Zoom, it's on the
No, brother.
it's on the Facebook him, on the YouTube him.
Yeah.
Oh, label is outside.
Okay, I'll be back in 3 minutes.
Okay. You know what? Open the door on your way out. Open the door for label. And now we can continue this year.
I don't want to miss a second.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
All right, continuing this year.
All right.
So just like Mordechai in his generation was the extension of he was the extension of Moshe to his generation. So what does he do? That they make that the Emunah should be in a way of Pnimius, in an internal way, in an actualized way. That also during the time of the Gezerah of Haman, during the times of the decree of Haman, that the learning of the Torah and the doing of mitzvahs was connected with Mesiras Nefesh.
Siras Nefesh.
Right, with self-sacrifice. that we know that he got together big in public, big groups to learn and to do mitzvahs in order to strengthen the faith of the Jewish people, because he was the Raya Mehemna, the faithful shepherd, meaning the one who gives the faith to the people in his generation. And then after that, the Maamar, the previous Rebbe, explains at length that once he explains this at length, he talks about why it says kasis lama'ir, it crushed as a source of light. Why lama'ir and not lahayir? Why not just to light up, but rather as the source of light? That in the times of galus, that every person is broken and low, she smashed, kasis. Al Yedei Zemas, so through this they reach the source, not just the light, but they reach the source of the light, the essence from which the light comes, right? Which, like we said before, this is the whole thing. What Moshe does is, we said, what does Moshe do? Why is it a new command? Because you command means you connect them with the essence of God Himself, and we see that especially in the times of exile, right? That they're crushed. That this being crushed is what leads to through this they reach the source, the very source of the light, not just the light, but the atmos, the essence of God Himself. Yeah.
Does that mean if Moshe is getting them to the essence, does that mean that they can reach the essence without Mesiras Nefesh?
It means that without the Moshe, they can't reach Mesiras Nefesh.
But
first of all, no, you can't without Mesiras Nefesh, and that's what we're going to talk about later. That's what we spoke about later.
Mesiras Nefesh lost lavo, like this.
That's what do you mean? We have it's our Mesiras Nefesh from now that causes that revelation. In other words.
But it'll carry.
I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is that we've had geulas. We've had redemptions.
Oh, wow.
But we're coming to the full and complete redemption that we will never go back to an exile anymore.
Every single year.
Which means what?
Will be Moser Nefesh for Hashem.
Right.
Hashem will be revealed through all of us.
And not only will He be revealed,
because it will become
and not just that, it's not just going to be one of the big differences. It's not just going to be a personal geula, personal redemption. It's that we're actually going to redeem the entire world, so that the entire world will experience essence.
Every single Jew will reach the level of Yechida.
Yeah, that's what we are. That we're going to connect. The truth is, every Jew is already Yechida, but that's going to be a revealed thing.
It'll be revealed.
It's going to be revealed. Yeah.
It'll stay revealed.
Yeah, and it'll stay revealed. Stay that way.
Oh man.
And stay that way.
Oh man.
So so it's the fourth. We're doing basically a recap now by Dalit. So the explanation of Veata Tetzaveh, of you, a new command, comes after what's explained in the beginning. That the first thing that the previous Rabbi explains is the idea that they actualize, the Jews actualize what they began to do. That they began by the giving of the Torah, they actualize now. That by the times the Torah was just the beginning, and the times of Achashverosh, of the decree of Haman, was the actualization, and the Kibbul HaYehudim, and they accepted, they really accepted, and Kibbul, they accepted it. Kimu would be like actualized it. And like the sages say, that they, on Kimu v'Kibbul, they actualized and accepted, that which they already received, but they now really carried it out in action. So the Maamar of the previous Rebbe brings up that this is a davar pella. This is a great wonder. It sounds almost shocking, because by the giving of the Torah, the Jewish people were in the greatest heights. Like we said, it was the greatest revelation ever. Even greater than can you imagine seeing the revelations of that happened in Egypt? You imagine the sticks turning to snakes, and snakes turning to sticks, and blood and frogs, and etc., and the firstborn. And compared to this, the revelations on the sea, by the splitting of the sea, the plagues by Egypt and everything was like nothing. It was even much greater.
Compared to the sea.
And compared to the sea, the giving of the Torah was even completely, absolutely eclipsed that and took the Guinness World Records position of greatest revelation ever, certified.
Should be in the Guinness.
On the other hand, by the times of Haman, they're standing at not just in a gullus, in an exile. It's always a low and sad situation. But here they're basically standing on the doorstep to the gas chambers. It's already signed, and what do you call it? The emperor has already signed the thing that Haman can go and kill them, every one of them. An absolute Judicide. Judicide, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a question.
I don't know. You decide. Judas, I don't know. You decide. But so how can we? So but and then at this point they actualize what they had only accepted by the giving of the Torah. And the answer to this is that at this time they did it with Mesiras Nefesh, with self-sacrifice, with willing to give up their lives for Torah and mitzvahs, and to not even say, not just Torah and mitzvahs, but not even to forgo one single mitzvah, not even one.
What? 2 questions.
Yeah.
First question is, so the Mesiras Nefesh Lasi Lavo is temporary. It's temporary.
What do you mean it's temporary? No, we're going to be in other words, we're
not always going to have to be Mesiras Nefesh.
Well, just not in a bad way. It's going to be only in a good way, because we're going to literally be giving him our soul.
Our whole thing, but
without having to risk losing our lives over.
But after that, I'm saying, once we're
then we gave it to him already.
Accustomed to Mesiras Nefesh,
we gave it to him already.
It into our whole beings. So then we
it's
won't
going to be a constant. In other words, we'll have that
suffering.
Oh, no. So the suffering of Mesiras Nefesh is not going to be there. We'll be able to do it with no suffering, but we'll be on the level of Mesiras Nefesh.
We'll still have some of the.
We'll be on the level of Mesiras Nefesh.
We'll still have some Yetzer Hara, because the Mesiras Nefesh and the Yetzer Hara go together.
Well, if you don't have a Yetzer Hara, then what kind of Mesiras Nefesh is it?
So we'll still have Yetzer Hara lust level. A little bit.
It depends when. There's different stages.
Different times, but
yeah.
Okay. Second question.
Look, now we already started Lasid Lavi, and I can tell you for beyond any shadow of a doubt, I still have Yetzer Hara.
So, all right. Okay, I hear. Yeah, I hear. Second thing.
Me label? No Yetzer Hara.
It's not the Yetzer Hara. That's if we bring it.
Yeah. No, but it's a hachra of the Yetzer Hara. It's you're bending the Yetzer Hara to do the right thing. But there's still a bending of the Yetzer Hara.
Okay. So, second question is, why, if they were all Moser Nefesh for Hashem, why wasn't that Zman Hagula? Why wasn't that the Geula? But then
let's not jump the gun. Why? Because then now wouldn't be the Zman Hagula. And since now is the Zman Hagula, first of all, it was the Zman Hagula. It was because of that Mesiras Nefesh that the second base of Mikdash got rebuilt. It wasn't so. In other words, but it wasn't the Zman of the Geula Hasidah Vashlema. It wasn't the full and complete redemption, after which there is no exile anymore.
So what needs to be for that?
An even bigger Mesiras Nefesh.
Even bigger.
Yeah, like by us, like in our generation.
By not even being forced to and doing it anyway.
Anyways, he's gonna get to that. He's dead because that he told you about that Mesiras Nefesh, so he can tell you about this Mesiras Nefesh. He's not just telling you about that Mesiras to tell you a nice story that they were nice boys. He's telling because ultimately this is all leading up to here and now.
Here and now.
Yeah. So that not even one person had even the slightest thought to go against their Judaism at this time.
It didn't even cross their minds.
Yeah. To the point where they got together at absolute danger to their lives. They got together in public to learn Torah with self-sacrifice. And this awakening of self-sacrifice was through the Moshe Rabbeinu of their generation, Mordechai HaYehudi, who was the Moshe of his generation. And this is why in this time it was they accepted and actualized what they only began at the giving of the Torah. Because at that time, even though maybe the Jews at Har Sinai, right, the Jews at Sinai maybe would have wanted to have Mesiras Nefesh, But they didn't actually have a practical opportunity for it at the very least. In fact, just the opposite. Here you have this God who you've just witnessed yourself destroy Egypt, and you've just witnessed the crossing of the sea, and now you have at Sinai an even greater revelation. Like you know what I'm saying? What are you at this point? You're not afraid of nobody else. You're not feeling a danger from accepting the Torah. Just the opposite. Like you're so inspired to do it. Whereas by the times of Mordechai, they had the opportunity for actual self-sacrifice because they had no real, guarantee, so to speak. In other words, they're going to kill you for doing this, for going out and proudly being Jews. They're going to kill you. What are you doing? And he said, you know what? But all the same, we're going to do it. So that they actually carried out an actual self-sacrifice to the point of being willing to give their actual lives. So we can say that this is the meaning of kasis lama'er, of crushed as to the source of light. That through the crushing, through the being broken, right, they reach to the source of the light. That this is that this idea is the explanation on this, that specifically during the times of the decree against them, they came to a higher self-sacrifice than otherwise, than by Sinai, for example. Because Mesiras Nefesh comes from the Etzem HaNeshama. It comes from the essence of the Neshama, which is higher than revelation, which is the source of light, that which the light comes out of it. And through this, that they were in a way of crushed during this decree, so the essence of their soul was revealed, the source of light. However, the fact that this idea in the Friedrich Rebbe's Maamar, the previous Rebbe's Maamar, comes after he already explained the idea of Raya Mehemno, of the faithful shepherd, it implies that the kasis lama'er, that the fact that they reach, that they have the self-sacrifice and the crushing, and through this they reach the essence, that this is directly related to the fact that Moshe is the one, that the Moshe of each generation is the one who sustains them with faith. Yeah, it's okay. It's anything goes. It's anything goes program. It's only on Facebook and YouTube.
This is amazing. Blown away by the way you're on the fly.
Well, we're going to actually go. We're actually going to go into it word for word. I just wanted to but I didn't want to recap it to recap because then it's like not the right.
This is amazing the way you're flowing. Yeah,
I've done this before. I've done this before.
Translating, but translating and explaining beautifully on the fly.
But also bekitzer. I'll tell you where I learned to do this.
It's not bekitzer.
Right, but I'm not going to speed that if you were sitting down and learning the Maamar.
It's like you're saying a Maamar. It's amazing.
No, so that's where I learned it from.
I'm just saying I'm blown away.
So where does it come from? Where do I know this from? Is already more than one Gimel Tammuz by Ma'ariv, Shachis, and Mincha. Split into three parts. I give this over this Maamar. As well as you should know, I actually not in this one, but my other kapata, in my non Wednesday night kapata, my non cigar smelling kapata, I actually have a Veata Tetzaveh, smaller, but I actually have a Maamar Veata Tetzaveh in my, and I read a little bit from it every day. So
really.
This is it. Anyways.
So besides that, it's amazing. I noticed something because you were explaining this for a little bit. And I actually had a chance to actually read this double parentheses.
Yeah.
He says an interesting thing about it, how it's two different levels.
Meaning the kiblu masha hechelu and kimu masha kiblu.
Is the Mesiras Nefesh they had in the middle of.
You're here.
Yeah, middle here. These couple double boxes
over here. Yeah.
He says it's not just that they had a Mesiras Nefesh of not thinking about going away from Yiddishkeit.
Right.
That's already a very special level.
Right, just not to leave it.
Right.
But they went an extra step and went in public.
He said that's already
That's already a huge,
huge
yeah.
other step that besides not thinking about not doing Jewish stuff anymore, not believing in Yiddishkeit, they also got together in public.
They made Tzivas Hashem rallies.
Right, exactly. They got together, the kids and everything, and all that stuff is like
that's a whole different,
nother level,
right?
A Mesirus Nefesh beyond just not wanting to give up the Yiddishkeit, like
right
in thought.
And not only that also explains, because you could ask, so why specifically by Mordechai? Why is Mordechai the example?
Or even not just thought.
No, but I'm saying, but
even
it wasn't.
action.
No, but I'm saying, but it wasn't.
We'll all still be from it. From our house.
But it wasn't the first Xavier against the Jewish people, or the last. For example, so why don't we use the Inquisition as because by the Inquisition they secretly refused to give up the Yiddishkeit. They didn't go into by the Aro Dafei and make Tzivas Hashem rallies. So by Mordechai, that was a very powerful thing. Okay, so now Eishei, recap. And this can be explained through what is known that if you remember, Nathan, this was the question that you had. What do you mean? Isn't a Jew automatically connected just by his birth? Like what? Right. So this was the part we explained that the Jews, they believe in godliness with a simple faith, and they don't need any proof on this. And this comes from two reasons. One of them is mazalayu chazi, meaning that his neshama, above where it's in his body, from a place where it's above a person's intellect, his neshama on a higher level than that sees or senses godliness. Seeing meaning like seeing is believing, right? As opposed to shmiya, hearing, which hearing is like when we discuss godliness and when we go through different parables and things like that. That's hearing. When we're going through it, we're using intellect, right? Whereas seeing is you don't need no explanation. I just see it as it is. So this is seeing that's higher than intellect, and this makes and through this, the part of the soul that's in the body also automatically believes in godliness. But it's a thing that's higher than intellect, because it's not because his physical brain is understanding God, right? You know, you ever what's it called? You ever see on YouTube, right? There's all these like these videos. I don't know what they say, but I've seen them. I see the titles, like proof that God exists. Well, if you have proof that God exists, that you're going to explain in this YouTube video, I don't know what God you're talking about. But it ain't the God it ain't the same God we're talking about here.
Why not?
You're going to prove that God. How can you prove that which is? In other words, you're going to logically prove that which is above logic.
He's also within logic, isn't he?
Maybe certain aspects, but we're talking about like the essence of God and whatever. You're talking about like you're going to prove. It's a matter of It's an absolute, especially the Jewish faith is a faith that it not only it doesn't need no proof, and no proof can help it, or because if you can prove God in your YouTube video, you can also refute your proof to God in the YouTube video.
So, hold on a second. One of the times I heard about this idea that we live in, right?
Yeah.
Or is it? You can't prove God exists. Okay. But what's interesting about our world, the lowest world, why do we say this is the lowest? I mean, there could be something lower than it, right? But there is nothing lower than it.
Right.
It's good because also in this world where you can't prove God exists, you also can't prove that God does not exist.
Right.
It's also impossible to prove God does not exist.
Well, because he got right, and it's because God is simply the milah from our little, from our little grain wormy brains that is swimming in our heads, Anyways, so that's the first explanation is mazalayu chazi, right? Is that your neshama, higher than your physical intellect, has a realization of godliness, and it sees godliness, it understands that this is the truth. And therefore, this comes down into also, it affects that you in your physical brain, even without proofs or whatever, you don't need no proofs, but you believe, yeah.
That's always affecting us, not just when we're in Mesiras Nefesh.
Correct.
We just don't become realized of it when we're...
No, this is what's it called? This is something that it says that every Jew has that faith. Even a Jew who's taken and used brain schmutz to cover it over, and he says he doesn't believe in it. If you put a Jew in the right situation, and all of a sudden you'll see, man, I'll give you a funny story. I was on an El Al plane. It's the only place you can meet such interesting characters. I was on an El Al plane, and the guy sitting next to me, an Israeli guy, and so we, guy, nice personality. That way, so we struck up a conversation about this, about that. Oh, Pittsburgh. He's like, what's it called? I've never been. It was just from New York, the El Al flight. Oh, I've never been to Pittsburgh. Well, what's in Pittsburgh? Oh, that's so it's like near Philadelphia. No, Anyway, we came to discussing. You're a Chabadnik, whatever. He said, yeah, he's an atheist. He's an atheist. I said, what does it mean, atheist? He said, I don't believe in God. I said, okay. So I said, so you're like a Jew. He says, yeah, I'm a Jew. My father's a Jew, my mother's a Jew, my grandfather, I'm a Jew. So you're a Jew. Yeah, I'm a Jew. But I'm an atheist, Jew and atheist. I said, so you're a Jew in Israel and you're an atheist, and like, for instance, so you're a Jew in Israel and you don't go to Shul Yom Kippur. He goes, oh, what are you talking about? Of course I go to Shul Yom Kippur. So I said, wait, you go to Shul Yom Kippur? I thought you said you're an atheist. He goes, so? He says, I go to Shul Yom Kippur. I'm a Jew. So I thought he meant like it's fine. It's like like the Irish people wear a kilt and it's traditional and it's connecting them back to the chain of their forefathers and blah 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 and to their landsman, whatever. Fine. I said, okay, so like I'm interested. I said, like what kind of you go to like an Orthodox shul or whatever. So he goes, I don't do this whole reform. What's it called? The thing. I like. In other words, either you believe in it or you don't believe in it. Well, it's a funny thing. The atheist was laughing about it. Is what you half believe in God. You sort of believe in God. Either believe in God or don't believe in God. You believe in God. I don't believe in God. Fine.
No stopping.
Right. So I said, okay, so you're telling me you go to an Orthodox shul in what's it called? They said, if you don't mind my asking, like, what do you do there? Like, you fast? Yeah, I fast. Fine, it's traditional. I say, what do you do there? So he goes, Ani mitpalel. I pray. So I told him, to who? Lelokim, to God. I said, but I thought you don't believe in God. He got really, really angry, and he goes, I'm an atheist, not a goy. He's an atheist. In other words, in his day-to-day life, it's convenient for him to be an atheist and whatever. And he sits with all his artist Israeli friends, and they discuss their atheism. And they go, and then every once in a while they probably tell each other, you know what? Thank God I'm an atheist. But a Jew believes. And this guy, he goes to shul because, yeah, I'm an atheist, but it's Yom Kippur. I'm a Jew. I go to shul. I talk to the atheist. The funny thing is that he saw no contradiction in this at all. Anyways, so a Jew, every Jew believes. If he tells you he believes, if he thinks he believes, if he doesn't know he believes, but every Jew believes. And one of the reasons is Mazalayu Chaz. The other thing is also, the other explanation is that the source of faith is from the essence of the soul, which is even higher than Mazalayu Chazi. Meaning this comes from a place that's higher than where his mazel sees. That the essence of the soul is completely tied to godliness, and it's completely tied to the essence of godliness. The essence of a Jew and the essence of godliness is totally tied together. And this is much higher than his mazel sees. That this is not hinging on any reason, meaning not even a higher than logic reason, because mazalayu chazi is still a reason. It's because my soul that's higher than intellect sees, it has this realization, it knows. But the etzem, the essence tied in the essence, is even higher than that. It's not even because of knowing. It's higher than any sort of knowing and any sort of revelation. So one of the differences between these two ideas of because his mazel sees and because his etzem is tied, his essence is tied to the essence of godliness, is that the faith in the soul that is enclosed in a body, right? So when the faith is coming from the seeing of the neshama, right, the mazalayu chazi, it's in a makif way, it's in an encompassing way, but it's not in a way that internalizes and that actualizes and that really goes inside, that really takes hold.
What does that mean if he'll sacrifice his life for it? Isn't that internalized?
That's different. That's because the Mesiras Nefesh is not because of Mazalayu Chazi. Mesiras Nefesh is because of my essence is connected to your essence. That's why Mesiras Nefesh Mesiras Nefesh doesn't come from the Mazalayu Chazi. However, right, because the neshama above, right, this part that sees, this part that knows, it's higher. Look, the whole point is, why does this part see? Because it's higher than being enclosed in a human body. So it's higher than intellect. But since it's higher than that, there's a reason it's higher than that. It's because it has to be higher than that. This part of the soul cannot become enclosed in a human full body, right? Why do you think that part of the soul is not enclosed in a human body? Because it can't be enclosed in a human body. It's higher than the body. And as such, there's a certain, what do you call it? Like a certain separation between that part of the soul and that part of the soul. So yes, it's influencing the soul that's in the body to have a faith because it sees, because this part of the soul sees. At the same time, being that this soul does not go in an eternal way, right? In like an actualized way into the body, so too that faith also does not come in an actualized way. It's almost like a little bit abstract, like a farce sort of thing. It's called makif. It doesn't actually go inside the vessels.
When does it show itself? What does it do?
Well, it shows itself even when it's makir.
It has an influence.
Makif is also influence.
It has
The
influence.
story in the Gemara with the Ganav, the tunnel.
Yeah. Right, that's the story with the Ganav and the, what's it called? He's praying that what do you call it?
That he should be successful.
Okay, but in the meantime, if so he believes.
Why isn't that just etzem?
It's not because of etzem. How do you do an avera if you're so tied, if you're completely tied to etzem? If you were tied to etzem, you would have Mesiras Nefesh to not do an avera. So it's not. In other words, it's not actualized.
But anytime you have Mesiras Nefesh, it's etzem.
Mesiras Nefesh should come. Yeah, in fact, he says the shayrish of Mesiras Nefesh is from the essence of the soul.
That's how you.
And that's why you do Mesiras Nefesh, because you're connected to the etzem.
And that's how you draw out.
And by and that, like we said, is that's why that Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that, because he connects you to etzem, therefore that's why he's the one that brings out the Mesiras Nefesh. We'll get there in a second, I think.
Goes on a lot about this later.
Yeah,
but what
I think even now he's gonna in the end of A.
What Mesiras Nefesh did they have in the midbar?
Oh, you ask some good questions.
Well, first of all, they had some, but that's the whole point. That's why by Mordechai and Esther, by the times of Mordechai, it was a higher Mesiras Nefesh. Over there, they had God protecting. That's the whole point. That's why he's saying why specifically by Purim, people that they actualized what they had only started by Matan Torah. Even though Matan Torah was the highest revelation, but still they only actualized it by Purim, what they had accepted then. Why? Because by the Midbar, they didn't have that kind of Mesiras Nefesh.
Matan Torah is the giving of the Torah, but where does the neshama actually get revealed? By Purim. Because then there's actually some Mesiras Nefesh going on. And to sit in the clouds of glory eating mun, you're having a good time.
Even though it's a greater revelation. It's a much greater Masalayu Chazi, so to speak. It's a much greater, you're getting, you have a much more, a feeling of it. But the Mesiras Nefesh, it's much less. And that's why Purim, and that's in one sense, they were at a higher level, and that's why they were able to have Mesiras Nefesh. Because they were cusses, right? They were crushed. Whereas in the Midbar, they weren't in a state of crushed.
How did Moshe Rabbeinu make them crushed?
He didn't.
But that was his command.
It's the Moshe Rabbeinu in each generation. So Moshe Rabbeinu is the one who first of all, he doesn't make them crushed. It's the Golus that makes them crushed. Moshe Rabbeinu, his job is to connect them, to give them faith and connect them to the essence of the soul and bring out the Mesiras Nefesh in them. That's his job.
So
The crushing is not my goal. That's the
How does he
difference.
bring
by
out the
Moshe,
Mesiras Nefesh? What did he do?
by connecting them
through Hashem.
So, yeah.
In the Midbar, it started the Midbar, right? In the Midbar, Hashem gave the Kayach to Moshe with this thing, Veata, Tetzaveh, right? That it be him who's able to create the situation where when a Yid is shmushed, he's not gonna falter, right?
That's our official English word for it, is shmushed.
He's gonna actually get stronger, and he's gonna bring out his etzem, right? And because of that Mesiras Kayach that Hashem gave to Moshe, then Moshe has then that thing that he gives to all Yidden, that the Moshe in every generation has the power to imbue this idea in all Yidden, that when they get in hard times, when they get crushed, when they get oppressed, whatever, they're not just going to falter, right? Instead,
No, not right. Adrabah, even more so, they're going to use that, yeah.
Through Hashem giving this thing to Moshe, that Moshe giving this to the Yidden, then during those situations, they're able to shine. Mama shine when they're being oppressed.
Even more than when they're not being oppressed.
Right.
It's an amazing thing, no?
So it started in the Midbar. Right? That's what he says. It started by Torah. But then we see when it actually came out, it was a little bit later. They weren't really crushed in the Midbar, right? Like you said, they were having a great time. They had a great relations. They're also having a great time. But when they finally had this, the etzem is not shaykh to really a revelation necessarily. It's like a Megillah.
Well, now that's the difference between Mazalayu Chazi, I'm having a revelation, versus no, I'm connected be'etzem. I'm connected in essence, and that comes out of Mesiras Nefesh. Whereas even the revelation, even the greatest revelation, doesn't come out in the same to the Mesiras Nefesh because a revelation. Remember, the essence of the soul, connected to the essence of godliness, is higher than is possible for revelation.
Yes, you don't really feel anything. You don't see anything or hear or see or feel it. There's no revelation. But it's the highest thing ever. It's higher than being high or low.
It's like consciousness.
Etzem is more than being high or low.
It's even higher than consciousness.
It's being.
It's a simple. It's being
completely present.
It's just a simple being. The essence of my being is tied to the essence of God. Do I feel it? If I'm feeling it, it's actually 100% not that. Why? Because it's unfeelable even. It's so high, it's higher than even feeling it.
You can be
the only way it can be it's revealed at all is through action. Which is funny because action is the lowest of our faculties, but it's revealed through action, which is the action of spreading Torah and mitzvahs in a way of self-sacrifice. That's the revelation of it, and that's how it's revealed down here in this world. Which is why
you're aware of it when you're doing it.
Of how it's going to come down here.
When you're in the midst of it, you experience it.
Well, you're
aware of it.
But there's no, but it's not necessarily. I mean, just the opposite. It's sometimes it's the opposite of revelation. Here you have Haman. They're sitting there doing a tzivus Hashem now. Haman's coming to kill you. Where's the revelation of what's it called in it?
That's what was revealed.
To who? It was revealed, meaning it was actualized. It came out in bepayil, in action.
They weren't thinking about it.
Now afterwards, it was They were being. They were being
it,
Jews,
but they
doing
experienced
Jews.
it.
They were doing. They
Judaism.
knew
they were.
But they didn't feel it.
But it's not like a spiritual high sort of thing of any
I
sort.
understand.
Yeah.
But the etzem was revealed.
But it was revealed.
It was beyond time.
Right, but not in the way. But not in the way that we usually tend to think of revelation. In terms of like some kind of like a psychedelic experience or something like that.
Right.
It was the pale revealed.
It was just they were.
In other words, we are the people who are connected with God, and we will not separate ourselves from Him. And just the opposite, we will do
aware
Slayer
of their
mitzvahs, even in
soul
this situation.
controlling their body. I mean, that's essentially what's happening. Is your soul is controlling your body.
It's controlling your body also not like it.
When you're
in the midbar, your soul is also controlling your body.
But when you're feeling it, are you put it this way: when we are having when you're having a dance with the Lubavitcher Rebbe,
Amen.
right?
Yeah.
Then you think, oh, I have my soul's revealed.
No. When you're thinking, it's too late. There's no thinking about
I'm saying
it.
it's ecstasy, it's joy.
But that's the thing. When you're not
when the
thinking,
guy is doing Mesiras Nefesh,
when you're not thinking, you're aware that you're just in it.
But
It's expressing
I'll give you an example.
The soul is.
I'll give you an example.
you know, looks so
It's
pretty.
if everything's
Man,
crazy.
so pretty.
If everything's let's say everything's
Nefesh,
no, it's like this.
so-
Everything's
I thought you were saying I don't look so pretty.
Mesiras Nefesh doesn't mean
No, let's say everything's
They're like,
crazy.
are you okay? You don't look so good.
Yeah, let's say everything is crazy, right? But I know that I need to make a Tzivos Hashem rally. And I need tickets, and I need this, and I need that, and in the meantime, I have a bunch of other things I have to deal with, and what do you call it? And I go and I do the Tzivos Hashem rally. That b'shas ma'isa while I'm doing this thing, that's etzem. But here's my point. My point is after the Tzivos Hashem rally, when I go, oh, that was great, lost it. That's already not. I mean, that's a bad thing. But that's already not revelation of etzem.
You could go through the Tzivos Hashem rally thinking about the whole thing the whole time, worrying, feeling it. But if you say, I'm not worried at all, I'm just going to do everything. Hashem just puts the thought in my mind, boom, I'm doing it.
That's how you do it. That's the only way you can do it.
I'm saying,
you don't even have time to
no,
think.
but you could be caught up in thinking. So it's not necessarily revealed if you're doing the thing.
The truth is, at that point, whether you're thinking or not, is completely irrelevant. You can do it thinking, you can do it not thinking. But the aspect of whether I think about it, whether I don't think about it, whether it makes me nervous right now, whether it makes me happy right now, either way. But the focus here is this is what I have to do no matter what. No matter what, this is what I have to do because I am connected to the Eibishter, and that's what I have to do. That's the but I'm saying, but it's not necessarily a high of any. It's not necessarily a high of any sort. Just because something's revealed doesn't mean it's a high. Because this is beyond high. It's beyond the high of Nathan. Beyond the high. You know, people they always wonder, what's the whole discussion? The whole discussion is you know, like you'll hear in different spiritual practices, right? They talk about and through spirituality you can reach a high that no drug can. This is not even a high. This is so beyond high. Mamish like beyond high. So let's look.
It's like maybe like sometimes you go to like a gross mikveh, and you get in, and it's not even hot. Like if it's hot, you can sometimes like get over whatever. It's like at least it's like feels nice and hot. Or if it's like really cold, it's like okay, well the germs can't get in because it's cold, right? But you go to
or at least you get when it's really cold, you at least get the geschmack of the Mesiras Nefesh.
or whatever. Yeah,
It's like a lukewarm, dirty mikveh.
It's
like there isn't even the geschmack of this is horrible.
I feel like one of the good word for that is tepid. You ever heard this word?
Tepid.
Tepid water.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
and like, you get in, and the light's reflecting just right off the surface of the mikveh, and you see all the floating skin and the skin cells and hair, and like whatever, and like maybe it looks like a little bit of an oil spill in the like that rainbow kind of reflection.
Let's put it this way. If the mikveh was any colder, you would get like the layer that comes on top of a soup.
And, and there's no point where you're like, well, at least it's a mitzvah. You're just like, the whole time, and like you go in and you're like, and you come back up and you're like,
and you're still
and
the whole day you're just
and then you get, or whatever that it's like, but
you did it.
that's like an incredible thing. You're connecting with the Eibushin in such an amazing way that like,
but it's high, and it's higher than
and it's even higher than necessarily
beyond high.
Is there a point where it's like
mitzvah
kavod abrius, like we eat
What?
a kavod abrius, like better not to
A
get
whole
mine.
different question. Some questions are better not
but
asked.
it's like Mesiras Nefesh for a minhag. It's like already
Okay, so now the part where there's the part there's a revelation,
but
stays in a way of
if
abstractness.
the mikveh was mashka.
And I was a duck, yeah. Then, but however, in order for the faith, to be in an actualized way in the neshama that's enclosed in the body, that your neshama that's enclosed in your body It should be in an actualized way. This is through the revelation of the tying the essence of the soul to the essence of godliness. Because the essence of the soul is also the essence of the soul that's in the body. Right? Meaning the essence of the soul is equally the essence across in the soul that's above the body and the soul that's in the body.
Is it the Yitzhar Tov?
It's just the essence. No, it's the mami. It's the chelik elikami mal mamish.
But that's the thing that gets you to do the mitzvahs.
It's beyond even what do you call it?
It's beyond mitzvahs.
It's beyond even you're choosing
But
things.
that's the force in you that's mamish.
It's mamish tied to Eibush.
But it's mamish. It's das. Like
no,
it's not.
No,
das.
there's no das. There's no das in etzem even.
It's beyond chachma.
It's beyond. There's no midas in etzem. It's higher than midas. It's legamri.
But that's the force.
It's the very essence of your soul, which is mamish, a piece of godliness. In other words, it's not even his commandment. His commandment is an extension of him. You know, now the way you reach up to it is through commandments. But it's mamish. It's a tie to God Himself.
But it's expressed
in essence. Hey, how are you, Howard? Hey, Mort.
Hey. Man.
Right, because for example, the part of the soul that's above the body is above the body, right? And there's the part of the soul that's in the body. And the part that's in the body is in the body, the part that's out of the body is out of the body. The essence of the soul is equally the essence of the entire soul and all levels of the entire soul.
But the goal is to reveal it, though. You reveal it through doing Torah mitzvahs from Mesiras Nefesh.
But it's dafka with the Mesiras Nefesh part of it. That's through doing Torah mitzvahs in a way. But in other words, the Torah mitzvahs becomes an automatic extension of it, because I'm tied to the Eibishter. I'm so tied to the Eibishter that automatically I'm gonna do Torah mitzvah.
What is it about?
What's
Mesiras
even the
Nefesh?
question?
Why is it only with Mesiras Nefesh?
Why is it only Mesiras Nefesh? Because the kassis, because Mesiras Nefesh is what reveals that etzem neshama.
Why can't it be if I'm just enjoying a mitzvah and it's not necessarily Mesiras Nefesh?
That's fine. You could. That's fine. That's fine, and you should.
Is it because
however, there's that the mitzvah that you're enjoying is a fantastic thing, and you should enjoy every mitzvah. But there comes a point where sometimes the mitzvah is a hassle to do also. Doing the right thing, and that's for everybody. That's for everybody. We're doing the thing that the Eibishter really wants you to do right now. Yeah, I'm enjoying it on this, but then there's always, how about the things that I don't feel like doing? And in a way, those are more beautiful. You know, people think, I'm enjoying this mitzvah. That's great. I'm happy you enjoy that mitzvah. You should enjoy the mitzvah. But there's always going to be the mitzvah that you don't necessarily enjoy, but you have to do.
But it's only by that.
And that's actually what makes the difference, by the way. That's what makes the difference. Because the one that you enjoy that you're going to do, fine, that's great. But the Mesiras Nefesh, no.
1 minute.
It's not. The etzem is not revealed in that.
How?
1 minute.
Because it's not. Because you're not. Because there's no Mesiras Nefesh in it. You're not doing it solely because that's the Eibishter's.
What if you are? Will. I just happen to enjoy it as well. I'm happy to do the Eibishter as well.
Fine. So that's fine. You can do that.
But is that etzem?
There's part yes and part no. In other words, by the way, you don't just reveal only etzem. You think the only thing is revealing etzem? Why? So you think in the midbar that they didn't have Mesiras Nefesh? So you think their mitzvahs weren't worth anything? They were going to. There's a revelation of the Shekhinah. Like I know you would love to just reveal etzem all day, every day with everything you do.
I'm ready.
But I hate to tell you, if there's no Mesiras Nefesh in it. By the way, you're doing good things. You're revealing Shekhinah down here.
But the original time you did the mitzvah,
Shekhinah is an expression of Atzilus.
Wasn't it?
Of the Eibishter, the way he's enclosed in Atzilus. But the revelation of etzem is only Mesiras Nefesh that comes from Kassis.
Does the Eibishter make every mitzvah at some point Mesiras Nefesh?
I don't know, but what I can tell you is like this. every one of us doesn't have to look too far from it. You think, then I'll look from things in the Mesiras Nefesh. You don't have to look too far for it, because any mitzvah that you really don't feel like doing, and it's going to be very, very hard to do right now, and I absolutely don't feel like doing it, and I'm not feeling spiritual about this, and but it's a mitzvah. That's Mesiras Nefesh. That's when you're revealing etzem. That's when you're really. In other words, listen. Don't poo-poo on the Shechina. Like, wait, you're telling me when I enjoyed that mitzvah, I only revealed the Shechina? Huh? Wow, man, like, I'm not doing that mitzvah anymore. I want to reveal etzem. No, it's okay. Reveal the Shechina also. Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
Enjoy the mitzvahs.
I don't know.
But the point is that when it comes across you, a mitzvah, something that you know is the right thing that the Eibishter needs you to do, then with Mesiras Nefesh, that's when you have an opportunity to reveal
Also,
etzem.
just for perspective, in the history of the Jews from Matan Torah till today, most of the time, with all the connection to Eibishter, was not spent in Mesiras Nefesh. And they're fine Yidden. And there's no etzem.
Is that true though?
Yeah, what do you mean? He just said that in the times of Mordechai, they revealed etzem because of Mesiras Nefesh, which is a higher thing than they had even by Matan Torah. The Jews of Matan Torah did.
Yeah, but that was only by Matan Torah. But after Matan Torah, once we're in Golos, the vast majority.
Oh no, but he said right. You're right, but he said, but by the times of Mordechai was on top of the regular situation of Golos, which wasn't even greater. First of all, don't worry so much. The Rebbe is gonna come bring it down to Nathan and his Atzmos. Don't worry, I promise you.
That's yours.
Okay. So.
Oh, can I ask you a question?
Wait, time out. Let's get to Vav,
keep going.
and then we'll. So in order in order for the faith that's in the should be in an internalized way, that is not through the Mazalayu Chazi, is not through any revelation, but rather it's only through a revelation of the connection to the essence of the soul, because that is also the essence of the part of the soul that's in the body, and therefore. The faith of the soul, which is in the body, that comes when that faith is coming from the essence of the soul, it internalizes, it naturalizes, and through this we can explain the connection of the things in the Maamar, that the idea of kasis lama'ir, of crushed, to be connected to the source of light, the atzmos, the essence. That's why it comes after the previous Rabbi first explains the idea of the faithful shepherd. That Moshe Rabbeinu feeds and sustains the faith, that it should be in an internalized way. Through this that he reveals the essence of the soul. And since he reveals the essence of the soul, he's able to give to give faith, to be the shepherd of faith, right? And that it's an internalized faith, that from the level of etzem, of essence. That's higher than the revelation to the soul above the body. The source of light that's higher than the light. What's written, crushed to the source of light. Listen, explains the Maamar, the previous Rabbi explains the Maamar, that in order to reach the source of light, which is through the idea of being crushed in the times of exile, because the main revelation of the essence of the neshama, the ma'er, the source of light, it comes through self-sacrifice, that the main self-sacrifice in the time of exile could become one, like we say later. So now we finally caught up to where we were last time. Yeah, you were gonna.
Normally we say etzem is it's not shaykh the revelation.
Correct.
Is it correct that this idea that from when I remember when Mashiach comes, that contradiction is going to be kind of null.
The etzem will be
Etzem
revealed.
will be revealed.
Right.
Okay.
Even though it's impossible.
even though it's impossible.
Right.
So I thought about before about the idea of, I just experienced the Shekhinah. Oh, it's only Shekhinah. It was only, right. But do you think we can have, even nowadays, certain experiences where it is like a revelation of Etzem? No.
Of Etzem?
Where it's like, almost like we're living in Mashiach's times, even now. And you can even have a revelation of
That's
Etzem.
how you know it's Golas, by the way. Everybody's after the revelation.
No.
Mashiach, we're just going to be Etzem.
No, it wasn't after revelation.
Can you have a revelation of Etzem?
I had an experience that I didn't expect to be any kind of revelation. But like now thinking back on it though, like just as we were having this conversation, I'm like, wait a sec. Well, even at the time, it wasn't really a revelation of like a happiness or a feeling of spirituality. It was just like, it just felt like, I don't know any other way to put it than it felt like Mashiach.
Maybe it was. Now, by the way, I'm almost as crazy as you. I have definitely.
You're almost crazy.
I have experienced the Shekhinah coming down, and it was as soon as davening started by Haidul Hashem Kir B'Shmai, and I literally experienced the Shekhinah coming down into the room.
What did it feel like?
It felt like Haidul Hashem Kir B'Shmai Maamar Leisaf.
Yeah.
What did it feel like? Like
I know what it feels like.
it's like you can explain to somebody who's never been punched in the face what punching in the face was feel.
I hope it felt better.
So let me think. No, I'm just saying muscle. So let me think.
You can't explain.
So let me think if I can equate it. Let me think if I can equate it to something. Oh, wait a second. So you've never been punched in the face. Have you ever been hit by a truck in the? No? Okay. Oh, man. Darn it.
Have you ever stubbed your toe?
What?
You ever stubbed your toe?
Okay, but what if this guy never stubbed his
It
toe?
doesn't feel like that.
I hope Mashiach
Penny
feels
punch in the
better
face.
than
Well, no, but okay, but fine. If you got stubbed your toe, you got a little bit of a revelation of punch. but right, no, but then at least you have a little tail thing to hang off of. But the Shekhinah coming down.
Mashiach.
I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know how to explain it, but I can just tell you the Shekhinah came down.
It's also inside the
On the other hand, by the way, and I think I may have had like not an actual experience of etzem, but like what do you call it? Like an as if like which was when I was putting tefillin on people in front of Giant Eagle. And there's a lot of people. What's it called? And some reform lady comes up and wants to shake my hand. But she didn't want to shake my hand because she wanted to shake my hand. She wanted to shake my hand because she knew I would say, I'm sorry, but I'm so happy you're here, but I don't shake. Oh, because women, because she wanted to make a scene about Orthodox and women.
By the way,
and at that moment, in my
for that.
And at that moment in my brain, what I'm thinking was, seriously, Abishter? That was like the closest I've ever gotten to Etzem, was like that, seriously, Abishter? Because I know, listen, I'm not shaking your hand. I don't care how much of a scene you make, and you can rile up the whole thing, and it feels stinky, because I'm like, really, Abishter? Like, Abishter, aren't you going to stand up for me or send somebody to stand up for me? No! She's, you're going to let her just, make a whole thing. What do you call it?
I thought you were gonna put
about the Orthodox and something, and how they force their wives to marry them.
Punch her in the face.
No,
and how they
explain it to her.
And how they force. No, there's no point. No, there's no point.
No, I thought Mendel's gonna tell her to go to hell.
There's no point.
I can't shake your hand. But
No,
I can
there's
punch
no
her in the
point.
face.
There's no point. You can't argue with somebody who's not.
Put a plastic back on your fist first.
No.
So you could say to her, excuse me, ma'am, please don't waste my time.
Lady, I changed my mind. I'm willing to touch you.
Who's watching this?
All kinds of people.
Especially that lady.
Can you see who's watching this?
Well, I can see our producer, Ayake and Katz.
Oh.
But other than that, on Facebook and YouTube,
You're saying it's
all over the
it's
place. This is everywhere in the world, and will stay there forever.
Oh, okay. So I'll hold my comments.
No, it's okay. We don't. Depends which comments.
But it's like you said.
Right.
You said you're almost as crazy as I am.
Right. So just for the sake of the broadcast, stay only as crazy as I am. Anyway, so that's the closest I had to Etzem. Is I'm like Sindel, and that's my brain. I'm just like seriously, Abishter. I think that's the closest thing I've ever had to Etzem.
He's broadcasting on?
No, No.
Oh, there's a picture.
No, that's because that's I'll explain you later.
There's a picture of you, and your title is Yechiad.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, okay.
Listen, this is part of the production value of this.
No, that's Etzem.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Should I take notes about my inappropriate comments for later?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I definitely want to hear them. Okay, so now here we go. We're gonna go inside. So I'm gonna share the
Can
screen.
I just give one comment?
Yeah.
That's actually what you said when we started the salad.
Where's those little
Well,
booklets?
I'm kidding. I'm not going to write on this.
What's our friend's name? I don't remember.
Where's your little
Nathan.
booklets? You know those little booklets you gave me?
This, I think, we'll shed some light on this.
It's in my.
I'm just regurgitating what you said before.
It's in my van.
There's serving Hashem on one hand, and then there's the byproducts that we enjoy, such as fulfillment, happiness, feeling connected. But those are all byproducts. The main thing is serving Hashem.
Show who else is here live.
And if you serve Hashem properly, you get a whole bunch of the byproduct. But serving Hashem is its own agenda, and which is oftentimes very comfortable. And when you get the most points for, and you have the most connection to Hashem, is usually when it's not so comfortable. And right then, there's no bliss. It may bring as a cause or give you happiness in your life and give you brachas, but right then, when you're doing it because it's God. It's not me anymore. It's not about me. This is about God. And when does it show the most? When do you feel the most that this is about God? Is when it's not comfortable. When you go into a clean Heisa mikveh with a nice 3 dry towels waiting for you, and there's a schwitz over there also, and you go, Baruch Hashem, this is it.
This is what it means to be a Jew.
You know.
The clean thing.
This, so that you're enjoying it. But when do you feel the connection to Hashem? I'm not saying you're not connected to Hashem when you do that, but and also connecting to Hashem is good. Etzem is the highest level of feeling connected, the highest thing of highest connection to Hashem. When do we connect to Hashem the most? When we push what our comfort is, when we push and it doesn't always mean in a bad way. Sometimes doesn't mean that there's a guy coming at you with a sword. It could be that your Yetzer Hara is coming at you with his sword, and sometimes that's your comfort zone. As life gets busy, and you say, "Oh, 1 minute, should I put on tefillin and say Shema Esrei at home, or should I go to shul and daven with a minyan? It's going to cost me another half an hour of sleep." That's a form of Mesiras Nefesh. Is that fun right away? Probably not. But that's Etzem. So Etzem is about connecting to Hashem. It's not about feeling good. Hashem helps us. Hashem, at the end of the day, you'll feel better than the people who are chasing feeling good. But
for mincha,
that's just a comment. So also over here, when he's speaking about the Giluyim, another thing is oftentimes when you speak about Giluyim, if I'm giving you a mashal, I have to give you the extreme. So the Giluy of Etzem is usually associated with Mesiras Nefesh. He's going to say soon that by Purim there's more Moshe Rabbeinu than there was by Matan Torah in a certain way, because as far as Mesiras Nefesh, as far as Gilui Etzem, etc. But back to Eisvav.
Okay, Eisvav. So let me screen share it.
Got 3 Markels for the president.
Okay, Eisvav. But first, the ya la da da, my la da da, my ya ya da da da, ya la da da, my la da da, my ya ya ho, I la da da, I la da da, my ya ya da da, I la da da, I la da da, my ya ya. Hey ya ya ya, did it, my did it, my did it, my did it, my did it, ya ya. Hey ya did it, my did it, my did it, my did it, ya ya. Hey ya ya, my did it, my did it, my did it, my did it, ay ya ya, ya ya, did it, my did it, my did it, my did it, bam bam bam. Aho, 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 ay ya ya, did it, ay ya. Howard, you want a copy of the English
I can do that.
version? See if I can. I think it would be part VI.
Oh, that's the Roman translation.
I don't think it's a word for word, but I think it's close enough.
ABS plus.
It should be followed. You need anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. So now, and the explanation is that the faith of the Jew is in such a way that he will give up his life for this. This is mainly from the faith that comes from the essence of the soul. The emunah mitzad zeh, that the faith that comes from this reason, shureya, that he sees, that he understands, that he has a revelation, mazalayu chazi. Hagam shehi b'teikev gadol, even though it's a very powerful thing. Now again, let's not poo-poo the other just because etzem, right? So don't poo-poo the revelation that's coming from Mazalayu Chazi, and the fact that your soul has a revelation from higher up. It's even so. This is also a very strong thing. Like it's known that the truth that is realized from seeing is a great level of realization of truth. Mikol makim. Still, however, since his faith is because of a reason, from this that he has a revelation of godliness, right? And therefore I have faith in godliness. And it's not tied to the essence of his being. It's not certain that he's going to give up his life for this. And not only that, in a sense, it sometimes goes the other way around. It's when your life is threatened, it's like a little bit of a negative revelation to the other side, you know. But this, that the faith of the Jew is in such a way that he's willing to give up his life for this. It's because the faith in godliness is his essence. And therefore, it is impossible at all that he should go against
Be heretical.
that he should be heretical to it, God forbid.
Blaspheme.
Or deny, I guess.
Yeah.
Deny.
Good word.
I think blaspheme is more when you verbally iterate that. And through this we can explain that which is written in the Maamar of the previous Rabbi. That Moshe is the faithful shepherd that he feeds and sustains the Jewish people with faith. This also applies to the shepherds of the Jews in every generation. Is the extension of Moshe in every generation. That they strengthen the faith of the Jewish people. That they will stand in self-sacrifice, meaning to the point of being willing to give their lives in the observance of Torah and mitzvahs. The lechura, that at first glance, This that Moshe is the one who feeds and sustains the faith. Who this is, as is explained in various places and also in this Maamar itself. Al Yedei, through this Shemashpi al Yisrael das belikus. It's through this that he influences the Jews with knowledge of godliness. That through this comes down the faith in an internal way.
Wait, what were you saying?
The faith.
It's almost a little counterintuitive because he's talking about through knowledge at this point, which you would think is lower than all this, but
Through what? How do we get faith?
So he said like this: that Moshe gives them faith, right? And meaning Moshe as well, the Moshe in every generation, is through this that he influences the Jew of das esavaya, das balikus, right? Of knowing God. That through this he comes to this internalized faith.
It's like he says l'cheda.
We're getting there. Let's finish the sentence.
Well, sorry. This l'cheda. This that Misha gives.
Okay, so he starts by saying that
Emunah to them.
Right. That at first glance, this that Moshe gives them emunah is how? It's through this that he influences them to know godliness. That through this it becomes internalized.
And they get it Panemius?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to finish this sentence here. And this that the shepherds of Israel in every generation, they strengthen the faith. Which explained in this Maamar. What is this faith, this strengthening of faith that they do? Is that the faith should be in a way of self-sacrifice. And according to this, we can say that the main purpose of the faithful shepherd, the main thing of the faithful shepherd, is this that he feeds and sustains the emunah itself. That it should be not just the way it is from Revelations. Because of this, that the neshama above sees godliness, but rather because of the essence of the soul, that the essence is tied to the essence. And this that Moshe draws down this faith in an internalized way, right? Meaning that the faith comes, which remember, das and asag is something in your physical body. So that means, in order to internalize it, it has to be drawn down into your actual das and asag, into your actual intellect and understanding. Is an outcome, meaning that which he makes it internalized, is an outcome of that he feeds and sustains the faith itself. A drawing down and a revelation of the faith, the way it is because of the self of the essence of the soul itself. And like we just said in the 5th paragraph, that the drawing down of the faith in an internalized way, in das, which is one of Nathan's very favorite goings on over here, the das. Who al yedei gilui hahiskashrus atzmis detzman neshama, is by revealing the connection of the essence of the soul, of the actual essence of the soul.
Was the Cheda a question in the end of that last page?
He's sort of yes and no, because what his Cheda was going on a first glance, he does this through bringing it through das, right? So now he's explaining how he brings it down into das. That he brings it down by revealing the what's it called. He's connecting these two things. He's saying, wait a second. What of the concept that's explained in various places that the Rai Mehemna, what he does is that he does it by influencing them to know godliness. What of that? And he says, that also. And then he's so it's a little bit of like a question answer, and then he's answering that these are connected things. They're not separate things, but rather they're connected.
I was only
things.
asking if the Yesh Lema right after.
Yeah. You're talking about what Yesh Lema over here.
He said L'cheira,
right? Yeah. Right. So according to what was above, so we can rectify this and show how these two things fit. That the main thing is how he brings the faith itself, and not because of revelation.
I'm trying to figure out what's the question and what's the answer.
Well, let's get to the end of the thing, and if he hasn't answered it, we can discuss it further. Let's get the end of. So what he reveals is the way that the soul, that the essence of the soul is connected, and this that Moshe brings it down in an internal way, and so here's where he's answering it, kind of that he brings it down in a pneumius way, bidas v'hatsaga, is an outcome of the fact that he's on that he reveals the connection to that Tzemach Neshama. Like it's explained in Sifhei that the drawing down of the Emunah b'pnimius, and now he's making that connection. Remember, in Sifhei he never said b'das. He's saying the fact that it brings down b'pnimius b'das is through that he reveals the connection, the essence connection of the essence of the soul. So according to this, we can say that in the generations that needed self-sacrifice in actuality, that the extensions of Moshe strengthened the faith of the Jewish people, that it should be with self-sacrifice. That in this it was revealed the concept of the faithful shepherd. It was revealed even more than by Moshe himself, even though they are merely an extension of him. Why? Because the main revelation of the faith that comes from the essence of the soul, which is through Moshe and his extension, its main revelation is when there is an actual Mesiras Nefesh, when there's an actual, meaning there must be the opportunity for Mesiras Nefesh. So what he's connecting is, he's saying that when he influences them to have das belikus, right? How does that fit into this equation? How that fits into the equation is that's the emunah b'pnimius. That's the internalized emunah, is that knowledge and understanding of godliness. How is that accomplished? How does Moshe accomplish that? By revealing the essence of the soul. And through this, that he reveals the essence of the soul, it comes that thing that he was referencing by the Lechura, and through comes a thing that what's it called? That he's mashpia das belikus. Okay, sure. I think we'll do one more seif, and then I think that'll, and then we'll leave for the next time the remainder. והנה ידעו שהמסיע נפש בפעילת תורה מצווה של כל ישראל היסה בפורים. And it's known that the Mesiras Nefesh, in actuality, on Teira Mitzvahs, right, of meaning not an individual one, but a Mesiras Nefesh, a self-sacrifice on the part of Kol Yisrael, of all the Jews, Jewish people, Haisave Purim. That wasn't Purim. Bisman Gzeiras Haman. Shamasiras Nefesh the Chanukah, Bisman Gzeiras Yavan, that the self-sacrifice by the times of Chanukah, by the times of the decree of Greece, Haisa be'ikar b'Matisyahu ubanov, was primarily with Matisyahu and his sons and their group of and their cohorts. But the Mesiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice by the decree of Haman, was on the part of all the Jews. And through this we can explain what is explained in the Maamar, that Mordechai was weighed in his generation like Moshe in his generation. That even though the extension of Moshe is in every generation, but still it says in the Medrash, that specifically Mordechai, more so than anyone, was weighed, like it was equal to Moshe in his generation, like Moshe in his generation. That and we can say the connection to this, why Mordechai specifically, is that the greatness of Mordechai Yehudi is that he was the faithful shepherd in a revealed way of all the Jews in his generation. Bedugmas Moshe, just like Moshe, Ra'im Mehemna, the faithful shepherd, Shehimshich Das L'Kol Yisrael Shebedei, that he brought down Das, right? He brought down the knowledge of the Torah. He brought down the Torah. L'Kol Yisrael Shebedei, to all the Jews of the generation. Can move on. Gam Mizeh Shadei Shel Moshe Kol Anshei Deira Nikra Deir Deya. Like you know that the times of Moshe in his generation, they're called the generation of Das, of knowledge, connection. Ela Sheba Moshe Hayagilu Yinyan Zeh. But by Moshe, the revelation of this thing, that he was the faithful shepherd of all the Jews, was through this that he brought down knowledge of the Torah to all the people, or knowledge of godliness to all the people of his generation. But by Mordechai, it was that he brought down the revelation, that he revealed the power of self-sacrifice in all the people of his generation. So we can say that through this that he brings down the Maamar. What the Medrash writes, that that Mordechai in his generation was equal to Moshe in his generation. Pasak Bal HaMaamar is Adin al Atzmai, that through this, the Bal HaMaamar, the Veata Rebbe, he say Pasak, he decreed, he declared the din, he what's it called, judged. Yeah, he judged on the law on himself. That he is the revealed faithful shepherd of all the people of his generation. Shepherd of faith, yeah.
Just faithful shepherd.
Yeah, and shepherd, the shepherd of faith, yeah. Fine. Ches already goes a while, so I think that's a good place to stop, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so God willing, next week, let me see what we're holding over here. We have the Zion of Ches. No, Ches, we have to do the next one. Ches, Tes. There's ways to go still. We also have a couple of weeks to go, so. Okay, thus ends part 2 of probably 4.
Oh, at least you're realistic. At least you're realistic.
I'm not even sure if that's being realistic.
But yeah, we'll finish it next time.
Are we
Yeah.
still on?
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Did it, yeah, did it, yeah, 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 did it, yeah, yeah, mama. Hey, yeah, 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 did it, yeah, my, yeah, yeah, did it, yeah, ah, yeah, my, yeah, my, yeah, yeah, did it, yeah, ah, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, 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 ah, yeah, did it, yeah, my, yeah, yeah, did it, ah, hey, yeah, 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 did I, yeah, my, yeah, yeah, did I, yeah, ah, yeah, my, yeah, my, yeah, yeah, did I, ah, yeah, 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 did I, ah, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, 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 did I, yeah, my, yeah, yeah, did I, yeah, ah, yeah, my, yeah, 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 did I, yeah. Ay, 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 mama, mama, niramba, ay, 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 hey, hey, ay, 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 ma, ay, 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 and we'll see everybody, God willing, next week for part 3 of Veata Tetzaveh. We'd like to thank we're talking about the faithful shepherds. We want to thank our faithful producer, Ira and Katz. He's the one who if we don't get on and do shiurim, lakas a chainik. So he's the one who makes sure it all happens. So Yashikeach Iri Chia Melech Zayge Ben.
Chia Melech, Chia Melech.
Alex is here.
Is it the Costco guy?
Yeah.
I saw him yesterday.
Ira, you there?
I saw him at Costco yesterday.
No, you didn't. I haven't been there since March of 2000 last year.
Wait, is this Ira?
We opened it up.
Is this Ira who works at Costco?
Used to, yeah.
I did. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't been there since March of 22.
I saw you outside the store yesterday in the parking lot.
Oh, that's a different story. You may have. Why didn't you say hello?
Why didn't you say so?
I was driving by and I saw you.
Yeah, you know what he should have said? Ira, he should have said, boy, Ira, am I ever glad to see you.
He should.
Shalom uvracha.
Sure, his horn works next time.